need be.
Okay. So you definitely want to make sure you're highlighting. I mean, it's difference between an intake and actually doing the investigation, right? So you just want to make sure that you highlight that. So I would take complaints. It would normally be time, and I would say time and attendance. They had complaints about their paychecks. Was there anything complaints about their benefits or their manager or supervisor? You can maybe elaborate on that. Like, hey, I would take the initial intake and then I would pass it off to my HR manager or whoever was handling that particular, situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So I shy away from saying I don't know or I never did that because there are pieces of it that you may have done, not the whole enchilada, right? You may not have done everything, but and understand that piece. And I did it all the way up to this part, and then I handed it off. And in an HR generalist role, there's plenty of times that you do that, right? Like I'll take an intake or I'll find out what the problem is, and then I'll go find out what the answer is and get back to somebody. That's really what HR generalist is, like a support role. So you're supporting the employee that's coming in with the issue or the problem and trying to get resolution to it. So you just want to make sure that you highlight that. Not, oh, I didn't handle that, because it just sounds like you're not taking ownership. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I didn't handle it per se, like it was my job duty, but anytime an employee came in with any type of concern, I would make sure that I properly handled that and got the right answer for them. Even if it wasn't under my criteria or my job responsibilities, I still made sure that they could come to me and be able to get an answer that was efficient for them. So you see, that was different than saying I didn't handle that. It's like, well, it's not under my umbrella, but you want to show that you're compassionate to the employees. You want to show that it's not under my umbrella, but I'm willing to go that extra step for the employee. I'm willing to do that. So it just it rings a different way in somebody's ear when you say, oh, no, that was so-and-so. Because it's like, okay, well, what part of that maybe did you help in? So just keep that in the back of your mind that you want to be from a standpoint of helpfulness and with the employees and making sure they get the proper answer in an efficient amount of time.
Okay.
Because that's, like I said, HR generalist is nothing but a support role for the management team. So you just want to make sure that you're answering in that light. Always keep that in the forefront. The next one is coordinate employment, staffing, and recruiting activities. Tell me a little bit about that, or explain to me any employment, staffing, and recruiting activities you did, because you did highlight that in the email to me that this role would be kind of like that would be maybe their first 90 days is just trying to recruit for them. So what does that look like?
Well, in the manufacturing or warehousing industry, at Geodis we did on job fairs. We also posted on the main boards of Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Glassdoor maybe back then. And I would do the initial, we would put the apps out there. They would do a basic screening of questions, submit their resume. It was very quick to get an influx of applicants in.
Right.
And then once I look at the job description that the managers have approved that was already out there, then I would send them, I would do an initial phone interview with questions that I have set up with the managers to say, these are some questions that we need to ask on the front end to see if I want to proceed with the next part of the interview. Okay. We did do some on-site job fairs. We organized those with different managers to rotate as well. And when I did the board job, when I used the job boards, I did the initial phone interview, got those responses back for the managers, sent over names and resumes for them to review. Once they got back with me, they sent me their applicants that they want to do a on-site interview with. Then they send me their schedule as well, so I start plugging them in.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Once they do those interviews on site, you all give me back, the list of people who showed. Then because warehousing can be a high turnover. We'll proceed with the ones that wanna proceed with, and give them a contingent job offer. Then I send them the whole application, notify them of background checks,
Yeah.
things that we would need before they get hired, drug screenings, things of that nature. So I submit the whole application and wait for the background checks to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And at that warehouse, I think they did mouth swabs there. Yeah.
Okay.
So they did that after I got the background back, and that was reviewed to say we can move forward. And then I set them up with their first day, get back with them, have them sign their contingent offer letter. I get back with them,